2 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 3. I find this verse so powerful. I actually sent out a message on it. I put it on our Facebook, but it hasn't been able to get away from me. It's just so powerful. I'm going to read it again. It says, but I'm afraid that just as Eve was deceived by the serpent's cunning, your minds may somehow be led astray from your sincere and pure devotion to Christ. Isn't that what our fasting is all about? You know, there are many things you could be praying for and fasting about. Maybe it's got to do with your family. Maybe it's got to do with your health. Maybe it's got to do with you. Maybe it's got to do with certain things in your life, that which you desire, you want to see God. But most importantly, one thing for me is to have that sincere and pure devotion to Christ. You know, less of me, more of him. Just want to know Jesus, want to be like Jesus. You see, I pray that that's your goal as well. You know, as you fast, you're like, God, do a work in me. You know, just move over my heart. Help me seek you first. Help me know you. Help me love you. Let everything in me reflect you, God. And whatever doesn't reflect you in me, God, let that be uprooted. But here he says, from your sincere and pure devotion to Christ, because you and I are expected by the Lord to have that devotion to him that is so sincere and so pure. You see, if there wasn't a devotion to Christ that was not sincere or pure, well, the Bible would not say that. But because it's so easy to have a devotion to Christ that is not sincere, that is not pure, so God says, be careful so that your minds are not led away from that which is sincere and pure. See, my own example, I want to say this because I think as especially people that serve God, do certain things or help out at church, it's easy to take your mind off Jesus and have your mind on what you're doing and not have Jesus as your focus. I remember one time I was praying and I was asking God, God, I ask you to, bless me today as I teach, help me as I preach. And I felt God was asking me, and why? And I think the reason why I was praying without even knowing was that I would look good, that I would sound good, that I would win the approval of man, that I was all right. But you see, the problem with that is I was praying that God would bless what I was doing, that what I was going to do. But again, the eyes were not on Jesus. The eyes were on me because it's me that wanted to look good. You see, it made me realize that it's not about me. So it should be less of me and more of him. So my prayer is, God, bless this teaching, bless this time as I preach so that I can make you look good. That is what we call sincere and pure devotion to Christ. I want to encourage you because it's so easy to be caught up in the duties, in the routines, in the things we have to do, the obligations and the ministry we have to take care of. And it's so easy to eventually have that devotion to Christ end up not being sincere or pure. But it's our prayer this time that, may this year be the best year of our service to God, that may we be sincere and pure in our devotion to Christ, and we're so affirmed, we're so clear that I'm willing to go the distance, I'm willing to do what I'm doing, I'm willing to go through the letdowns, the frustration, the disappointment, when I don't feel like doing it, and all that because of Christ, because the truth of the matter is there is disappointment and there is getting tired and there is getting exhausted sometimes. But you see, if it's not about Jesus, then you lose that fire. But to make your devotion to Christ so sincere and so pure, it makes no difference because you're like, man, I'm going to go the distance. I'm going to drive forever. If I have to drive for an hour, if I have to, serve for an hour, if I have to stay behind for 40 minutes, whatever it is, you're like, God, this is my devotion to you. I want it to be sincere and pure. May you make that your fasting focus. May you pray that, God help me, that I just want to have a devotion to you that is sincere and pure. I don't want to end up deceived with my eyes on something else, caught up in religion. I want to know the person of Christ. He's the reason that I do what I do. And may our devotion to Christ be the most sincere, the most pure it's ever been. And as we press on, may God help us to draw closer to him. Amen. Do not be deceived. We're going to stay alive and glorify Jesus in every move we make. And God bless you, my friends.